hold up. It's that boy G.Planz. Don't give a damn. He cooler than a fan. Walking real tall. Some say he's a man.
Analyze it and then get motivated off of it. Like, I started off, when I started making beats, I started learning how to, you know, make another person record. That's what really started me making beats. Me remaking another person beat. You know what I'm saying? Like Man and Fresh records and stuff like that. I used to go in and learn their music, replay their music, and then I started learning how to, you know, harmonize and stuff like that. Because like I say, I used to be in a choir, so I know certain melodies and stuff supposed to go in by ear. I can't even read a note to save my life. I can't do it. But I can hear it. And once I hear it, I know how to produce it. So when I hum it, I know how to find the keys, what I'm humming, and pitch it in the right way to where I can make my production, you know, great. You know.
Yeah. This too, all right, you've been producing, say, 16, 17 years, something like that. All right, technology is upgrading. Yeah. And how did you adjust to the change?
Oh man,
of the technology?
I knew it was gonna change. I just knew it. I worked on hardware. Like from when I started, I worked on hardware. All I knew was hardware. When I started going into the big studios, I went to school in Baton Rouge called CSAL, and that's located off of off of Scenic over there in that little area and whatnot. But when I went there, I was meeting new people, and a couple of producers that I knew, a person that I knew that produced, you know, we went to school together, so they was talking about this rap thing, and I was like, man, I wouldn't mind going in the studio with y'all. This was when they first started off, like this when they first kicked off the music scene. So I used to always want to, you know, go with them to the studio or whatever like that. But, you know, I had to bring them a product, so I went there, had my first little rap, I wrote it, presented it to them. They told me, man, yeah, bro, we like that. We're going to put you in the studio. So, boom. When I got in the studio, you know, we all had to pitch in some money to get the studio time or whatever like that. So I had my little money. We all pitched in. We got in the studio. And when I got in the studio, all I seen was hardware. It wasn't nothing dealing with software, no computers or nothing. It was strictly hardware. You had your ADATs. You had that. You had your big mixing board that you put the mix, you know, your mixings on. You got the keyboard, and all that's being ran through the mixer to record in your ADAT. So it wasn't nothing like with no software, but I knew it was gonna change when I moved to Arlington. Cause I always kept myself, like when people would show me stuff, that's how I learned too. I'm a big electronic head myself, so I used to, you know, I'm hands on with anything that I grab. I'm hands on. So when I found out about the program Fruity Loops, this was like when regular Fruity Loops and Fruity Loops 3 was out. I used to play around with it but couldn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, this is weird. So I used to just make my beats on nothing but the hardware. But I used to catch myself messing with it. Like I said, again, I'm hands-on with electronics. So when I used to go in and mess with it and stuff like that, I used to chop my samples in another little program called Cool Edit. I used to sample off Cool Edit. So when I did my samples or whatever, when I went somewhere on the computer and I was searching for something, but when I went through the list of samples that I chopped up through the program, I was like, oh man, this about to do it. Yeah. This about to take the cake. So I used to always mess with beats. I used to make beats off of that and use the samples that I chopped up and was making good beats. And I was like, man, this is gonna change the game. But I still was on hardware though. And I'm still like that as of today. Like I'm a big hardware fan because it's something about that hardware sound. You know what I'm saying? That you can't duplicate with the software. It's emulated. Like you gotta make it sound like it's hardware. You know what I'm saying? But it's nothing like the hardware. You know what I'm saying? I still use that till this day. You know what I'm saying?
And speaking of change, man, everything is always going to change. It's constant change. Well, we're gonna change the plans right now. It's different. Right. I want to say this: you were a part of the older generation, the Boosie, the Webbie. I'm gonna say Kevin Gates. Mr. in there too, Nussie, R.I.P. Nussie, and now you got these new guys, like I say, Lil Wop. You got J. Lewis, man. It's a whole bunch of them too. It's a difference. How did you feel about the transition, the old Baton Rouge and the new Baton Rouge guys who being in the forefront of the music?
Man, just keeping myself in time with the music that's going on. Like I told you again, bro, I'll break myself, take a break from this music thing just to hear what's going on, so that way I can keep up with their lingo and keep up with their style. Cause you know what I'm saying, you know. These youngsters, man, they really coming in and doing their thing, and then you got, you know what I'm saying, people like Young Boy and everybody that's young coming in the game and doing their thing, bro. It's about the lingo. Like I sit and I study, I learn. I don't just go off of just being like, man, oh, I'm gonna produce, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, cause I want to know. I gotta hear what's going on, cause I gotta cater to them too. You know what I'm saying? And the scene is crazy, bro. Just being from the era of me seeing and working with the older cats versus the new generation that's coming out, man, it's just it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, but I really like it. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, like it's cool, bro. And
the fact that you still open to work with them, because some of the older guys, I'm gonna say hip hop in general, they don't like what these new dudes doing. They don't like it. I just got to talking to a guy about Lil Yachty. He was like saying, I like what he doing. But a lot of the older hip hop heads don't like this mumble rapping.
Hey, I learned to adapt, bro. I learned to adapt, and I learned to understand and read the minds of a young person too and what they going through. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, man, bro, it's like you can't tell them what to do. It's kind of like you gotta. It's just like me had to learn. I had to learn from experience, because I used to be like them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just seeing them just repeating my life over again. So I just be seeing what they doing, and you know I could just give them advice and just, you know what I'm saying, and that's it.
But speaking of advice, man, anybody who want to get into this music stuff, they need to get their business straight. Like, what advice you got for anybody?
Man, and I'm glad that you brought that up, man. The main thing y'all got to learn, bro, that's producers and artists, man. You got to learn the business. If you in this game to make money, to make any kind of revenue with it, because there's money in the music game, you got to pick up a book and read. You got to learn from somebody that know what's going on in the music industry, and take advice. But the most important thing, and I feel like that's what we lack at with the young generation, reading, bro. You got to read. Like, I'm hands on with what I do, but if I'm in a situation where like I'm stuck at something, I'm gonna pick up a manual and read it. I got to read it because I'm stuck. Like, I'm not gonna be able to know everything. I'm gonna read it. So my advice to producers and artists, man, know the business before you get into it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if you feel like it's the right move for you, you know what I'm saying, understand what's going on, because you know you gotta fall to stand up. You know what I'm saying? I did it before. You know what I'm saying? I didn't experience more than a little bit. Like, I used to experience me signing a contract, not even knowing I own publishing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Not even knowing I own my own publishing. Now I know I own my publishing, and I'm supposed to get that because that's mine.
And I say this too, right now, you knowing what you know today, back then, like, if you would have knew what you knew today, back then, what would you have done different?
Man, I would have been richer. I would have did everything would have been different. My business would have been straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm by the grace of God, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But I know it could have been a whole lot better if I would have knew what I know now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if anybody want to get with B.Real, they want a legendary track from you, how can they reach you? With Instagram, Twitter, what is it?
I be Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Instagram is by B.Real 225, BYBREAL 225. Twitter the same. I mean, the Twitter the same thing. My Snapchat the same thing. I got a Facebook that's DJ B.Real.
And I want to say this, man. Is there any upcoming projects you got going on? Any artists you've been mainly working with? That
Right now, as you can see, right now we in Money Good Entertainment Studios. I've been working with Lil Deezy from Money Good.
Shout out to Lil Deezy, cool.
And I've been working with Mr. Get 'Em Gone, Malachi, a couple of more artists named J-Rock, real one, D, man, everybody, bro, everybody. Man, I wanted to put, you know what I wanted to put out there that you might not even know too.
Go and put it out there.
You know, I was working with before 22 Savage.
Yeah.
It was 22 Savage. You know, he was Mighty Mike.
He was Mike, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I produced the Hit That for the Gram.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did that record. So that was just to go back to say about the younger generation. Like I know how to adapt.
Yeah.
Like you know, I got kids of my own, and I know, you know what I'm saying. They growing up, so I know. You know what I'm saying, certain things, how they might feel and everything like that. You know, I won't keep them dancing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, also work with Lil Wick. She got a little record called I Cut Up.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah, I was working with her. Who else, man? Man, bro, everybody.
Everybody.